All right, Thadley, I'm going to see if this helps you. I'm going to give you an example of what I think you can do with the bar that'll help your bar path and how to push your head through. And I want to show you an exercise that I actually learned last night that I think is going to help you as well. So just stay with me, Fabio. The big thing is what I find with overhead pressing. You're like me, well, you're a lot longer than me. So we've got that wide grip on bench because we want to shorten the stroke. And with overhead pressing, for me, what I have found is that if I'm out wide, I don't have the same amount of power. Everybody thinks that the power is in your hands and pushing overhead. And you have a tendency to where you push and then you lean back and your head is back and the weight's getting out here and you honestly have no leverage. So what we want to try to do is, even if, again, this is strongman, it's not Olympic lifting, so it's different, but you're going to have the weight in your hands, where if it were touching, you can actually use that chest to get some power. It's okay, you want to have those elbows flat, that's what you're going to do. So instead of changing that, let's change our mindset and then look at a different bar path. So what I want you to try to find is be as upright as you can. Push the heels. When you drive, you're driving the hips forward, but stay on the heels. Push those heels down. When the weight gets here, you're pushing the head through. Because here is where your leverage is. Here, we have no leverage, and that's why it's getting here, and then it's dying. You're thinking, all I got to do is get it there. If you're here, then the entire upper body, especially the thing that I scream about all the time, those lats and that upper back that I have you work so hard on, comes into play. So let's do a few with the bar. Go ahead and get to the side. I tell you what, hone in on my hands real quick. See, a lot of times you're out on pinky on the ring, or you'll even go out wider because you're so wide. And what I have found, even when I front squat, if I'm out wide, it changes the leverage point. All right, go to the side. So I line up, this is just for me, you find your happy place, where my thumb nail ends, not the tip, on the inside, is basically where I grab the bar. We're about a finger width, maybe a little more from the ring. Get under the bar. Everything for you looks fine. But here, instead of being leaned back, see, we're taking all our power away. Get that butt under you. Just like when you're squatting, squeeze. So when you dip, the same thing about keeping your body upright. Pick that big toe up when you start. My toes up, I'm tight, I'm dipping, and I'm driving with the heels. Now see, I'm right here. Now I'm pushing my head. This is where I need to be. Okay? So it's, instead of going, you're going to get away with it at 100 pounds. 150, it's going to get more difficult. When you're with that axle, when you're out here, we have no power. So I want you to think, boom. Just like that. Stay with me. Now, what I did last night, you don't have to do it with a split jerk, do it with like a power jerk. And how Osman explained it to me, he goes, when you're here in the clean in the front squat position and you go to jerk, you have to worry about the weight being in front of you. You don't have the same leverage. He goes, what's better, your back squat or your front squat? Well, all the leverage, your center of gravity is perfect when the bar is behind your neck. Now, this isn't like the behind the neck presses for tons of reps that I say don't do. This is a whole different ball game. This is a dynamic movement, and we're using the entire body to get the weight moving. And that is where we've got to get you. Don't think shoulder press. Think a dynamic movement where I'm using my entire body to get the weight going. So I get a little wider grip because of my shoulders, and I'm super tight, so I apologize from last night. Now you're right here, just when you dip, I'm going to take my cap off doing this, but you dip and you're driving the hips through, dip under it. Now look at where we are. Now, instead of being here, where we have no power, now we're here. And you're locked out, guess what we get to use? Those big, strong legs. So I'm going to put it in the rack, fix my super cool underwear hat, that is available. SuperSquad800 at yahoo.com, Team Ogre at outlook.com. $20. $20 is cheap. Okay. So, again, your grip's going to be a little wider. Find a happy medium. That's all I'm after. Right here. Get set. Feet straight forward. We're not squatting. We're doing a press movement. You're going to dip. Remember, the toes are up, tight. Dip. Explode. Boom. You're done. All right. Give those a try. We'll talk about it on email. And good luck.